All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello, friends, and welcome to the ITSL Game of the Week here on Action Round Zero with the legendary Zimowit Pezderski. I'm Justin Abramson, and we're so glad you could join us for what is almost a de facto Lyon Division Championship game as David Erill of Catalonia takes on the ITSL's lone African player, Zidane Lamrani of Morocco. The two men are tied for the division lead with identical 14-3 records, and the winner will have a glide path to securing the division championship and the double bye that comes with it. On paper, David would appear to be a slight favorite. Ranked number 12 in the world and coming off a nomination to the EMEA's All-Star team, David has had an excellent season and would jump into a coveted top 10 slot with a victory today, leaping over both Zimowit and myself to do it. However, Zidane's been no slouch either at number 49. In his brief competitive Twilight Struggle career, he has amassed a sparkling 9-1 record as the U.S., which is the side he will be playing today. And of course, in addition to their place in the standings, these two men will also have an eye on EMEA's representation in the top 10, as the three conferences jockey for position heading into that March 31st deadline to determine who gets the bye in the global finals. So there's plenty on the line today, and wherever you are in the world, and whatever time it is for you, come on along for the ride as two lions of the Lyon division go head-to-head on Twilight Struggle's biggest stage. And now let's get back to Zimowit here. Zimowit, what can you tell us about these two players and their opening hands?
Well, our rating spots are pretty threatened right now. Deco, D-Stall, Nuclear Test Ban. Well, that's a solid start hand if I ever saw one. Also, Cambridge has a pretty good headline choice, considering Europe scoring in Zidane's hand. And he went with Deco. Okay, that's ballsy.
Yeah, probably a bold choice. Yeah, I cannot account for defectors, but he's going to take a chance with D-Style also in his hand, and he's going to get purged here.
Yeah, that's one thing going for Zidane here. So I think he'll have to go for an Iran coup anyway. Kind of sadly, because, well, what else to do, really?
Yeah, I think you want, with all this access, you want to get DEFCON down, and then with 1 in Algeria, you immediately threaten France if DEFCON's at 4. Now, Zidane does have Europe scoring in his hands, so he's going to be able to get this domination off. Oh, I saw that cursor go toward Italy.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe influence placement after all. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this. No.
Ooh.
No. Okay.
I don't like that play.
Brass balls YOLO move.
I think that invites an immediate realign at +2. Oh yeah. Here, right?
I mean, at +1 with Algeria taken, that's just sort of incorrect. But being perched at +2. Well, no.
Yeah, that seems awfully risky. We'll see if it pays off for him. Not a ton of ops here in Zidane's hand. He's got okay ops, but not great. So ops he's spending realigning France are ops he's not spending filling up France by himself. So maybe not altogether a terrible thing, but that interesting. I think I probably would have gone a different way, but we'll see how it works out for him.
It would be good to use a 2-op for this realignment, but he doesn't have. Okay, Warsaw is probably a mistake. I mean, if the opponent didn't play NATO, the opponent doesn't have NATO, so you don't rush with Warsaw, especially holding Europe scoring. No way. It worked?
So is he going to dump the scoring here? I don't think I would do that. I would take my +2 realigned, I think.
Especially with Iraq being a great secondary target. No, okay, he's still thinking. One problem is the lack of very good card to do it. I mean, you don't want to risk just using a 1-op.
You could UN something.
Wow.
He dumps the scoring.
Incredible.
Wow. Zimowit, you know what? I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of good players out there. And I'm still learning. I'm a little bit new to the community. I am blown away by that sequence of plays. So he dumps the scoring. So Zidane dumps the scoring for 1 point. concedes Europe, and now he's in a position where he could be realigned out of West Germany and then Italy at even if he wanted to get really crazy, or
Nah, come on.
David could content himself with just taking France and coup Iran here.
Yeah, I
Lots of
think you
choices.
have to. Whoa, okay. That's another ballsy play. Just ignoring it altogether.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen people make awful mistakes when pressured by, for example, Kayan's unorthodox moves. But, okay, nothing like this.
Okay. So now David with Middle East scoring in hand. He's got to get presence here in the Middle East. I'm surprised not to see a coup right away there to if nothing else than just to protect France. You know, and the other thing is Zidane has Truman in hand, so he could have he even could potentially have jammed France if if the realigns didn't knock him all the way out. But okay, he's going to spread out of Iran, which makes perfect sense. He's going to take Lebanon for a domination in the Middle East, and that may make David a little bit uncomfortable. But I think what do you would you expect a coup of Lebanon here? What do you think?
Definitely. I mean, you have to coup something. Iran is not nearly as good with the influence in Pakistan, and you kind of need to rush things up with Middle East scoring. So Lebanon is a perfect target here. Of course, there is this drawback of leaving Thailand unattended. I expect he might have to play the China card this turn, since, well, I don't expect he'll have time for distal. Okay,
China
maybe
already.
immediately. So one more, I guess, in Indonesia as well. Then like Afghanistan, that doesn't set up a domination. I like setting up dominations.
Yeah, that would make sense. Now you do have Middle East scoring. You've got D-Stall. Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
but you have two more plays.
That's true.
Before you have to score Middle East.
Okay, so the stream minimized for just a moment. So he looks like we had one South Korea, one Afghanistan, and two Thailand with the China card. So you lock up the two battlegrounds, but not domination.
But okay, that China play. Okay, he's living on the edge here. Okay, already. Which one? Arab Israeli already using the intervention is Zidane. Or what? Okay, amazing that neither side could so far. Zidane, I guess what? Will take Pakistan? Threat to
you
India?
take Pakistan, get into India in case you get a big coup or the war.
Right, a good choice not to give up Milops. Okay, now we have to cool Lebanon. I mean, really?
He's
Okay,
run out of time.
yeah, I mean, you have two more plays before scoring. China was premature, I think. You need your Milops from somewhere.
Yeah, you've got to score. You've got to get presence. And then you need Milops as well. And you don't want to give up Marshall if you can help it. Now, I guess Europe has already scored, so you could if you needed to. Yeah, I think a coup of Lebanon here makes sense. But you need to roll a 3 to get your presence, and if you do, you're probably getting cooed back with Truman.
Yeah, I kind of expected him to try with Marshall.
He's not gonna.
And okay, at least put one in Asia, maybe. Or Zaire.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's so easy to stop.
Yeah.
Okay, but not a coup target. That might be the strangest beginning of a game I have seen.
I've
Quite some
never
time.
seen anything quite like this, Zimowit. Again, only been watching these games on a regular basis and playing these games on a regular basis for a year, so I know you've seen it all. But this is a little bit new for me. So, but you know what? Twilight Struggle, it's a great game. You know, we play with the same cards every time. It's not there. There's no new cards coming out all the time, but yet it was seemingly we can see something. You can see something different that you've never seen before. You know, in these games, and so that's clearly what we've seen today.
Definitely. Okay, but not a fan of this Afghanistan move. I don't think the threat is strong enough. Though maybe? Huh.
Neither player with any mill ops. DEFCON's still at 5.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And we're now in the U.S. action round 4. David has 2 plays left. One will be a scoring, and the other will presumably be a coup somewhere.
I expect Zidane to use Warsaw for the coup.
Yeah, or... Okay.
Okay, now he needs to stop the domination. He might just take Indonesia.
Yeah, that would make sense. David certainly hasn't played like he has Middle East scoring. So I don't think that Zidane would immediately take
the France move. Oh wow. No, that wasn't a I have Middle East scoring play, definitely.
Yes.
I guess he would wanted to take France and Algeria to have some security against the realignments. Which is okay, tricky, ballsy, but okay, it's a plan. Might work. But
Don also needs to worry a little bit about blockade. Obviously, David doesn't have it, but he's already used UN, so he knows blockade means he skips an action round. So perhaps he's thinking about that as well. Don't want to be caught with your pants down on blockade on Twilight Struggle's biggest stage.
That's particularly embarrassing.
But looks like he is not as afraid of that as I would be.
Okay, I guess he wants to hedge his bets. If he uses Warsaw, that's 2 Egypt, 1 Indonesia, I would guess. Or if he is truly prescient, 1 Iraq, 1 Indonesia, but nah. I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think Indonesia to stop the domination makes sense. And then ideally, if he could see David's hand, certainly he would go 1 Iraq or 2 Egypt here, in addition. But I don't think he would get the read from David's play that he has Middle East, like I said.
That's a reasonable move anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously you want to get into Egypt and into Libya before the end of the turn.
And he uses a 3-op, so unless it's no, not a ballsy Thailand coup.
India.
Ooh, he lets him get away with it.
Okay. So David will certainly dump the scoring.
Oh, yes. And then we'll get his 1 mill-op.
Yeah. I think this is an easy dump. There it is. Okay, and now we are at AR5 for the U.S. and neither player with any mill ops. I wonder, is this a situation where you trigger Vietnam and coup it immediately?
Well, I guess maybe if IR6...
Then you're fighting a coup of Indonesia, so that's not great.
Yeah, no, you go for Angola. Ooh.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, and he misses.
So, Cambridge... Where to? Kind of out of targets here. Pakistan, okay.
Pakistan, okay. Oh well, he gets something done there. And now, would you just go at Angola here again?
Yes. I know it's a domination for the Soviets, but it's an opportunity that doesn't come that often.
Yeah, being able to clean him out of Angola and then take Zaire if he's not cooed back would be big.
So I can see this game going David's way after his gamble here. In the Pakistani war, grabs India. France is secure with Truman gun.
Oh yeah, that the one. He's just going to go for
Okay.
influence. He's going to let DEFCON go to 4. Okay, and he prevents domination. Okay, so DEFCON's going to go to 4, so likely, and Duck is gone. So Zidane reasoning that he's going to get a coup out of this.
And yeah, here's in the Pakistani war. But okay. I guess you might want to start with a Pakistan coup after all. So, defectors? No, on account still
I think
possible.
I believe, was
Yeah.
the selection from Zidane. He's going to get some
Oh.
good value out of that.
Oh, definitely. I guess Nazis as a safe headline.
Yeah, Nazis is fine. Gets you to the second space slot.
And now to protect, what's that? Angola. Probably a coup of Pakistan with a 3-up. If you get any value,
Pakistan,
yeah.
Yeah, if you
then
roll
you set up
anything
a
other than a
domination.
1, you set up the domination and you prevent the coup of Angola.
And then you fold up in Panama. No, not Iran.
With Middle
That
East
can be
scored?
ignored. That can be ignored. That's a problem.
Yeah, I would just respond to that by cooing Angola, wouldn't you?
Oh,
Zero?
definitely. I mean,
You
Pakistan
can,
move
yeah.
would make me think what to do. Coup back and possibly allow a domination. Plus, if I get Pakistan, then India is less protected against in the Pakistani war. Which
Yes,
I
both
would
of
like
them
to be
still
my next
sitting
move.
at 1 in 3 chance. So that doesn't really help in terms of Indo-Pakistani war modifiers. And so, yeah, even a 1-op coup, which would become a 2, even if you just get a 1 in Angola, you are going to knock him out. And here a 2-op he does get the 1.
Low rolls. Okay, I guess you want Iran anyway, unless... no, I think you should be pretty safe from US domination in Asia, so... I mean, you have Korean War.
Yeah, so I think,
Okay.
Laos needs to be taken. Yes, I think you need to do that before you destall.
Definitely, but I would be more greedy in the Middle East. Especially since in the Pakistani war in hand, I really want one country at 1 in 3 war chance.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, because now you could see the U.S., as you said, fill up Iran and fill up Burma, and then you just have the 1 in 6.
Yeah, probably not worth it then. And with containment, USA certainly has the ops to do that. Also, I expect USA, after playing Suez Crisis, will break France and try to break it big. Actually, Suez might be a good play now. 2 Egypt, 1 Burma, 1 Iran.
Yeah, I like the idea of this. Yeah,
Yes,
that's a
could have
great
been
play.
that, but with Suez. Oh, maybe he's holding for blockade, but no.
He doesn't have a great card to hold for blockade, but yeah, any of his cards will do other than Romanian. But yeah, I would expect maybe Suez next, and you jam. Although Truman is in the discard.
Okay, our protecting North Korea, good call. And after that, it's time for destall. Hopefully, before the villain takes Zaire. I would probably use destall now.
Yeah, Asia
Before,
I think
Korea.
the U.S. So Zidane is going to prevent this domination by taking some non-battlegrounds. We haven't seen U.S. Japan yet, so I don't think there's a need to take Japan.
True, so I guess he'll settle for Philippines.
Yeah, Malaysia here. So he's just going to take both.
Both of them, okay.
He's going to try the 1 and 6.
Yeah, didn't like that. 1 and 6. Ah,
That's a desperation play, I mean a play that I like if you need mill-ops, but he didn't.
true.
So
And
yeah, I think that 2 ops could have been used to take Algeria, maybe get into Saudi, something like that, or spread out after you destall.
oh, definitely, because you are destalling this turn.
Yes, you have to.
You can't not to.
All right, do you think this will be a France jam?
Very reasonable. Because it's out of targets for USA. I mean, Asia is mostly locked. Middle East is already for USA. So it's time to break stuff. Unless he gets ballsy and goes to Colombia. Okay. Meh.
Yeah. See that I know. That's what I would have done. I would have just said, well, hey, there's open battlegrounds here. Let's just take the open battlegrounds. Obviously, we have the benefit of seeing David's hand. A jam of France there would have been devastating because David would not have had an effective response. I don't know why France isn't overprotected against a player with containment, but I guess that's another story for another day.
Yeah, well, truth be told, David doesn't have two great ops this turn. And he did focus on Asia. Okay, I'll probably choose Nigeria over Mexico, but okay. But the gem of France, I mean, it's a lost opportunity because battlegrounds you can always take later. Libya is not contested, but with
Yes.
France not overprotected, the goal already gone for now, and Algeria not controlled even. I mean, the Soviets would have to play a 4-up just to defend everything, and there aren't that many of those left. US-Japan definitely is one of them. Not sure about the nuclear test ban, sorry.
So would you go into Colombia immediately here if you're Zidane and threaten Venezuela, make David fill it right away, or would you do something else?
Ooh, yeah, that's on
If
the
you're going into
tricky
Colombia, you've
side.
also got to fill up Panama, I think,
Probably.
in anticipation of a coup.
I guess he'll take Mexico. Or
Yeah, I didn't love that Mexico placement. I think I agree with you, Zima. But I would rather see Nigeria.
because Mexico doesn't provide the value. Okay, so Fidel to Venezuela and maybe finally France. Just
Yeah,
a
France
suggestion.
definitely needs overprotecting, and Venezuela needs to be filled.
Okay, surely not. Okay, there's some value with Iraq, but if anything, take Syria. But no. For me, it has to be Venezuela and France. They're both just too vulnerable.
Yeah. Venezuela and France, I think, has to be the play, and you just hope that your opponent doesn't get the scoring. Okay.
Okay, but
Now
now if he doesn't break France,
I think
okay,
this is
maybe
100%.
if
Yeah.
the goal were still unaccounted for, and he plays Romanian. Okay, to take advantage of the bonus, I guess, but then you don't put NATO in the draw deck.
Yeah.
And
So
you
De Gaulle has been played. He's going to break South Korea.
and actually, okay, he drew Europe. That's lucky for him. Okay. So 5-year plan and Asia for David.
And not a very good hand for Zidane here. He's going to be able to get rid of blockade quite painlessly, but not much in the way of ops. And Asia scoring in David's hand to go with US Japan. So
I guess, yeah, he might have to play US Japan. He'll need the ops.
do you think this is a situation where we may see duck and cover for ops to prevent the taking of South Korea? Or do you think you will just see an Asia headline here?
Well, Asia headline is safe, that's one thing. So we might. Although, no, okay, Nasser is probably not enough of a value here. The big question is, do we want to hold 5-year plan? We know that CA is not a problem. USA drew the card. So, okay, we might, despite having no China card anymore. Because Middle East, Africa, they're going to be bad. So
there's definitely some scary stuff out there, scoring-wise.
So there's some reason to hold on to 5-year plan. So
But
yeah,
I
I
missed the headline
think.
from Zidane. What did Zidane headline?
Oh yeah, I missed that too.
I missed that. I was too busy looking at David's hand. He's got some complex decisions to make here. He could just dump Asia in the
I
headline.
think so. Yeah, I like holding 5-year
completely
plan
safe.
here. I mean, you drew duck and cover as well, so.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. I like that.
Interesting. Yeah, good call. Though still can be ignored, of course. Just coup, I know, Zaire, I guess.
Yeah, well, Truman was reshuffled in. David
But
does not
yeah,
know
you might,
that
you
Zidane
will
doesn't have it.
be afraid of Truman here. Another reason why France should have been overprotected, of course.
Yes, French. I think French should have been overprotected, and then when it wasn't overprotected, it should have been jammed. Okay, but some of the guys that I
more or less gets away with it because he will be able to defend. I think defend France from U.S. takeover, or will he? 4-3? No, with China card play.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right. And he's not going to mind giving up Japan, but obviously
No.
can't give up Duck.
I think Zidane might be able to steal France here, but it will cost him the China card.
Yep, and it will cost David valuable time if he engages in the ops war. It's going to cost him valuable ops that could be used to fill up South America.
True. So that's a very good headline choice and a very good fight choice. Now's the opportunity to delay the Soviets in South America. And at least for some time, David has to fight in Europe. So US-Japan is practically forced here.
Yep. So David needs to either give up on France, or he needs to jam 4 ops into it because, again, Zidane could still have Truman. It certainly makes more sense to jam.
Right. We might not have seen it. Right. If he had Truman, that's a reasonable play.
Yeah. If you have Truman at 1-3, David could still go back in with 4 ops and take it back.
Yeah, sometimes I am under too much influence of knowledge of both players' cards.
Yes.
So I expect David will, ignore France. Wanted to say it, but apparently I'm mistaken.
Yeah, I think
he likes living on the edge. I mean, goes right perfectly with this game, this brinksmanship. Okay, if you put in so much, add 1 more.
Oh yes, absolutely. If you got to go big or go home here, I would think you've got to add all 4 or concede France. I would definitely not split my influence between France and South America or Algeria or anything like that.
I guess maybe now he realized that Truman is still an option. He's considering it. Yes, it's still a draw. Okay.
So this clearly isn't going into France. So I would think you'd see him take Algeria here. Maybe spread into Argentina, fill up Brazil, and concede France. It's just overprotecting. He took France on the very first action round of the game, had 2 full turns to overprotect it, and never did it.
Okay, so just an honorary fight for France.
Yeah. Okay, so he sticks one in
Okay,
there.
ignore
I like
South
the one in
Korea.
Algeria.
Come on. If you think there might be Truman, you don't put anything. I would probably forfeit France were I in his shoes. I would be too afraid of Truman. Okay, now he learns. Okay, it's not as bad as he feared, but well, still bad because Europe scoring will soon happen.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we will just see France taken here with NORAD. I think that's pretty straightforward. Don't even need, now with just the one in there, don't even need to use the China card.
Okay, I guess you space now. Probably should event Nasser. Maybe he grabs Mexico. A bit greedy. Okay, David is not afraid. He's just
Okay.
not afraid.
I think a quick one Guatemala there from Zidane, and he's not. Yeah, okay. I'd be spreading out in South America here. I think taking South Korea is fine, even with it scored.
That's true, but okay. We'll see Europe first, then some more adventurous moves. Okay, but he's living on the edge once again with South America. Going for a very risky hard to keep Mexico instead of securing much easier to hold South America.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's time to space since you have to anyway. Didn't work. And now Zidane can start the poke. One into Guatemala.
I think blockade into Guatemala here makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, he should use Arab Israeli probably because he should remember about Nasser, which is likely to be evented. One Guatemala, one Angola.
Demo, how do you respond in these situations? Do you coup and allow the mill-ops for the other side, or do you allow do you just allow these realignments and keep your VPs?
I hate those situations so much. I mean, in this situation, I probably wouldn't coup because South America is just too vulnerable. But normally, if I have enough ops, I don't mind giving up these mill ops. If I'm threatened, like in Cuba often happens, I coup.
Okay, well, we will see if David shares your opinion. You did select him for the All-Star team after all, perhaps because you two play similarly. I'm not sure, but David
definitely don't play similarly.
All right,
I just learned.
Yes. Okay, so he does go for the coup, as you said, and I would expect to see a coup back here. Probably with Arab Israeli,
yes.
Right? Would you use your two ops here before Nasser's evented and make sure you get the full complement of mill ops?
Exactly. I wonder about Nasser. Maybe probably have to event it because it's your ooh la la.
That's a big roll.
And also a big roll. If only there were Nasser.
Yes.
Here.
So David with the option here to event Nasser, it's a little bit underwhelming because it doesn't stop domination on its own. You then have to put another op into Egypt to stop its domination. Of course, Sadat could be drawn on turn 4, so it's always frustrating when you event Nasser and then Sadat comes before Middle East is scored again.
True, but you get access to Libya, so Muslim revolution potentially gets you the country. You'll probably have to event Nasser.
Yeah, I think Yeah, I don't think I would punt Nasser away here on turn 3 and just hope to flip Egypt in the late war. I'd try and make something happen now in the Middle East because it looks pretty ugly. And again, even Muslim Revolution right now is not even that great.
Whoa.
Ooh, ooh, interesting.
No. Really? Okay, at least get access to Nigeria, maybe? At
I
least
guess he
put one
doesn't
in
want Cameroon
Argentina.
cooed.
Yeah, but... Okay, that's some sort of protection against realignment. I guess I wouldn't realign here, that's true. I would coup... which one? Yeah, Colombia provides better value.
Colombia gets you presence in South America and stops his domination. So yeah, assume you can roll at least a 3. I think a
Yeah.
Colombia coup here is an
And
easy play.
Voice of America vulnerability.
Yeah.
And plays right into David's hand as he gets Che.
Yep.
Remarkable. Once
Okay.
again, his crazy play is rewarded.
He does get Che, also Liberation, and also de Gaulle. So if he wants to flip France back, he can. But of course, with Europe already scored, there's probably
No.
more value out on the board, and don't want to give up the coup to do that.
So, Quag or Che is the big question. Because, well, okay, you would love to use Brezhnev as well, but...
So, and Zimowit, I do need to mention that just as we mentioned, needing to event Nasser, there's Sadat on turn 4, ready to just erase
Okay.
him. So he was not evented, and
David is
happy
right
to
again.
have, David happy to have Nasser around in the deck in the late war, certainly.
Okay,
Of
I
course,
think I
Sadat will
saw a
now make the
glimpse
late
of
war
a...
as well.
What? Liberation theology? Surely not. Why?
That seems like a strange choice. I mean, it does force the U.S. to respond.
True, but...
I like Che to protect Mexico and establish South America domination. Okay.
Okay, so which one do we start with? Tehran, probably.
Yeah, omit this early is a little scary. Okay. He doesn't know, of course, that Zidane has the gunman. And so
Right, but do you
now the
play the
question is
gunman?
Zidane just going to dump the gunman right here?
No, that's an awful position to play the gunman. I mean, you probably lose Angola and Panama.
Yep. No, you're right. He'll get a better spot. He's got 4 more turns of 3 more turns after this.
He has UN intervention, so
he's got UN intervention.
turn is now.
Goodness gracious! All right, I'm sorry, guys. I need to be watching better. Thank you for pointing the obvious out to me, Zimowit.
So I guess I had to make a call here. I'll probably still coup Zaire with with a crappy hand Nixon, I guess.
Or would you think about using the China card for a bigger coup in South America, maybe Brazil, and then taking the China card back with Nixon?
Yeah, there is something to it. I mean, Zaire is overprotected heavily, but that would leave me without any strong cards to play. Oh, right, he has independent red still. He keeps playing with it, so you coup with that, I guess.
Okay, yeah, so he's just going to go.
And ooh la la. Okay. Now, Che, if you don't mind, of course, David. That's not too much trouble.
Yep, so it goes for the 2-mop coup, needing a 4 to clear out David, and he gets a 6. So big roll there in Panama, evens up Central America. And Mexico's still ripe for realigns here. So, Azima, I think you're absolutely right. Che, this is the time.
Okay, gets the bigger coup, gets the smaller coup. Okay. All good.
Couple
And
nice
now
rolls there.
just a little tug of war probably in Guatemala because, well, if there's one thing that Zidane's crappy hand is good for is cooing one stops.
Yes, I think that is wise. Would you think that David would use those for Colombia instead? Okay, perhaps expecting the scoring there. And Zima, do you think David would flip Angola here with a 3-op? Or do you think he's just going to wait for
That's
access
already a
card?
domination. Okay, one in Argentina, I would say. Come on, surely you don't expect Voice of America. Okay, you might expect it. Okay. There's something to be said for it. Okay, so he's playing for the attacked region.
Yeah, I like that. I think the Guatemala coup was a little bit more of a threat. So the fact that he went to Colombia might suggest that he did have Voice of America.
True, true. Very reasonable counter here. Okay, another coup. You have two great targets. You just have to go at them. Sadat and etc.
I guess flipping Angola makes no sense if you plan on giving up nuclear subs on AR7.
Well, you don't plan, I
Yeah.
expect. I
Yeah,
think
I don't. Yeah.
ask not. Maybe. Okay, you might expect South America, but that's the only scoring you really want are afraid to lose here.
Could also space one, hold the other, but okay. China card coup, Uruguay, and he misses.
What the heck? Why? No. Okay, now he's definitely not getting ask not. Because that just screams. No, come on, not Quagmire. Come on, the goal. What's okay? He maybe wants to fight for France later.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
Quagmire, De Gaulle, and Brezhnev all good holds here, so you could space one of nuclear subs and Asnot and give up the other, or you could space both, given that he's ahead on the space track and he's at that second space slot.
True, but I'll be very worried about going to Space 4 if he succeeds at the first try so quickly. I mean, haven't seen a single of the top US events.
Yeah, Colonials, Voice, Puppets, and of course grain sales, all unseen here.
Okay, but now there's no way he's giving up ask not. Okay, or at least I wouldn't. Giving considering how aggressive. Okay, with Godman giving up.
Yeah.
Okay,
See,
big
now I
rolls.
think giving up Ask Not is better because
True.
whatever Zidane gets if he discards, he has to play immediately.
And he gets to discard only one card, not two.
Yep.
Oh no, he played the China card, right? So he could still have two.
Oh no, you're right about that. You're right about that. He did play China, so he'll have two cards. So sorry about that.
Okay.
He will get to hold one card through.
Which one will be the hold card for David? But with Truman unaccounted for and Europe scored, you probably don't want to keep the goal. There's no big enough value in it. So just coup Guatemala, I expect. But Zidane is keeping the pressure with good rolls. Except for the one in Uruguay. That I think was a big mistake and big waste.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure I understand the huge coup, the huge swing at Uruguay, especially with David already in Chile and able to just take Argentina, even if the coup is good. Uruguay doesn't really threaten anything.
Yeah, maybe if you have the scoring, well, Zidane, but okay, just keeping at it and getting finally not enough. Finally some time to space. So which one will be, David? Which one will you space? I expect he will give up one. Probably nuclear subs, I expect. Although, okay, with the gunman discarded, there's something to be said for both of these choices. No, come on.
With gunman discarded.
Come on, you have to space now.
Yeah, I think spacing now very valuable. With gunman discarded, I think giving up astronaut makes sense. Obviously, South America scoring, you don't want him to have that. I seriously doubt that David believes Zidane has Africa scoring, because we would have seen Angola protected and South Africa filled for sure if that were the case. Okay, so it takes Central.
Nah. Okay, so he just doesn't want to space. Despite the one small step potential threat, the two VPs hanging in the air, we'll just play one of these cards. Okay, now what? Cambridge into Guatemala? But that's a giveaway. After Cambridge, you get Asknot. Well, that's one problem.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you coup here with Cambridge. Ask you will 100% give up Asknot.
Influence. Okay. And not even a coup.
Not even a coup, yeah. So now I think giving up Asnod is a no-brainer. I mean,
Yeah.
You might even flip Angola here.
Oh, definitely.
Because now that changes domination. I would have liked to see Angola overprotected before seeing South Africa filled, I think.
Well, I guess he wanted to stop the domination. At least one of them. There are two. Okay, he gets will bury you.
We will bury you. Okay. So if you're Zidane, you just event Nixon. Okay, so he's gonna. I think South America control is valuable here. And then on Zidane's end, would you just event Nixon and hold on to "We Will Bury You" to protect against missile envy?
After already, no, I think not. After already seeing Ask Not, I really don't want to hold on to big crap cards. Besides, there's a chance to get Cultural Revolution. So in that situation, it's better to first play it and then event Nixon. I would space because I don't. Okay, unless Nixon for a coup in Guatemala, because Nixon for the event now doesn't provide enough value, I think.
Okay. Yeah, he's just gonna take the China card here.
Okay.
And whoa,
Ooh la la.
Big hand here. Brush War Purge to go with Arms Race. He's got Defectors.
Now, what a load of crap!
Here's some bad stuff on David's side.
Okay, will he purge him?
Oh my goodness, a purge would be so devastating here.
I would definitely do it.
He got rid of Brezhnev.
Okay, one saving grace for David. He has Cultural Revolution, so he might grab the China card and use it immediately. Be able to hold two cards that way.
Yep, I think that'd be quite wise. And indeed, Zidane going for the purge. This is going to be a rough turn for David.
Okay, headline, I guess cultural still, because maybe salt. But he was checking what's out there. Oh, all right. Salt can allow him to hold one more card. He gets to hold grain, voice, and colonials.
Or you could give up nuclear subs on AR6 and then give up grain. But then grain is going to pull voice. That's a big problem. You can't allow that. No, never mind. That doesn't work. Too many problem cards here. You could salt for Brezhnev is what you could do. When he sees his purge, when he sees this purge, if he headlines Salt,
Right.
he's gonna want to
Good
take out Brezhnev.
call. Yeah, I think you need to do that. Definitely. In fact, without queuing AR1, he goes cultural, sees the purge, and should go for Salt immediately. Because he doesn't have a good coup target.
Yeah.
Okay. But that takes a calm and collected mind in order to see the oh shit moment and to realize what you need to do. That's an excellent idea. Because you really cannot afford to stay with this crap, and you can space twice.
So now, if you have realign, so sorry, if he does raise DEFCON to 5, are there any bad realign targets that he's opening up? It doesn't look like it. Thailand opened to a coup.
Yeah,
but
so
not. But yeah, and that's a negative. That's a -1 coup. Zidane could give up 3 VPs and use "We Will Bury You" if he so desires. Oh,
maybe he starts with Angola coup. Okay, there's some value in it.
Yeah, there's some value in it here because if you raise DEFCON in the middle of the turn, then if you raise DEFCON now, Zidane gets 2 coups to your 1. Whereas if you wait an AR, you'll get 2 coups to his 1.
Ooh, and actually goes for a harder target and gets some.
Okay. It's probably an easy repair, right?
Oh yeah.
You don't want to use flower power here.
With brush in hand, indeed. So, that could be the factors. Arms race, you probably want to hold on to just in case. What? He's surely not playing
here?
Surely not. I mean,
I don't like this.
Where else would he?
I think you've got to fill up. I think you just fill back up.
Right, because where would you even spend the extra 2 ops?
I mean, you could protect South Africa by taking Botswana, I guess. But if you're going to do that, you'd rather just flip Angola.
Exactly. I mean,
he's purged. Like, I don't think.
Oh no. Okay, maybe he's still considering it. And
maybe he's considering jamming something somewhere, but there's not even a really good spot to jam.
Exactly, and we can see David's mouse cursor pointer on Salt at least a moment ago. So maybe he's going for it. Going for the Brezhnev plan, yeah. Because that's clearly the best plan. You really need to get rid of the crap.
Yeah, Salt for Brezhnev. Now you're spending 2 ARs doing absolutely nothing on the board, but then and then you're probably spending 2 more action rounds spacing grain and voice.
Yeah. What's kind of sadder is that you probably, if the opponent coups, you probably have to coup back without Brezhnev's help.
Yeah.
So Brezhnev will be quite late here.
But I think still useful.
Oh yeah, definitely. You need to get rid of this crap. I mean, okay, I know you could hold on to the 3 cards for the next turn, but that's just courting disaster.
I'd like to see those cards off to space, even if you have to spend 2 action rounds doing it. Now, of course, Zidane is going to play Brush War at some point, so if David holds on to Salt before that, you could Salt for Brush, maybe take a shot at Italy, something like that, but
Italy, Europe is scored. Like, there's big value in Italy, of course, but I'm looking at Venezuela, I think. Because I expect Mexico will be realigned sooner or later.
Yeah. So Zimowit, if it were me, I would just take defectors and I'd put 2 into Iran and just repair the damage from that coup and be done.
What? No.
Is he going to try and crawl to Nicaragua for the realigns?
I guess, but That's just a perfect opportunity for a purged player to use
Yeah,
the card
Purge player
cards.
would love to get into a coup war in Nicaragua.
Okay, maybe there will be more value to it after Salt, assuming David goes for this plan. He doesn't. Doesn't see it.
Okay.
Well, it is not an obvious plan. But okay, he cannot afford to play voice or colonial. Not on this map, so he will have to use Salt.
So he's going to have to use salt and then give up nuclear subs and then hold all three of those cards to next turn.
Yeah, I mean, he will space probably twice next turn, but still.
Yeah. Shuttle is not a problem for him in the Middle East. It is an issue for him in Asia, but Middle East almost certain to be scored first.
Definitely. It also means that Middle East will probably a big score for USA. Big result. With
Yeah, it
5
looks like
VPs.
5. Yeah, it's gonna be here. It's 5. It would be 6 with shuttle.
Now it's 4. Will be 5 with shuttle.
Right. Sorry. Yes, you're right. Of course.
Okay, protected Angola. Reasonable, but still not seeing the big picture.
Yeah, I like overprotecting Angola when you're purged. But
Okay, brush. Yeah, maybe it's reasonable to try already just to free up flower power to get arms race. Venezuela will be my target of choice.
There it goes. And he hits the
And
roll.
kind of work. Yeah. So now you need to restore domination and protect Brazil. You have the China card, so you can maybe, but probably better not. Okay. All move by move very reasonable, but sooner or later you have to pay the piper. And the piper is coming.
So you're going to have to play Salt. You're going to have to use whatever card you get from Salt, which is probably going to be Brush, I guess. Okay, there's 3 more VPs on Zidane's side.
Yeah, brush is very reasonable.
You're going to have to use the China card, and then you're going to have to give up nuclear subs. Or I guess you could give up colonials, but
Southeast
one
Asia,
option,
Africa, no.
yeah, that no. Even with these countries overprotected,
Oh,
no, you can't. You can't.
Come on, at least Saudi.
I don't understand that. Okay, he doesn't want to get jammed in South Korea. The Indonesia flip. I mean, it is 2 VPs, I guess, but when you're purged, that's an awfully expensive flip.
Okay, so now I guess a big coup and realign action. Yeah, one
Oh
drawback of
no!
that.
I don't like that. I use the Pope. I'm even when I'm a big fan of eventing the Pope, almost regardless of the situation in Europe.
Yeah, usually sure, but this time you have the advantage, you have the opportunity. That's not the time for long-term moves.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think I might have cooed with the defectors.
Okay,
but,
Brush.
okay.
After all, problem is that after he's cooed in Africa, as he probably should be, then what? Coup with Brush? Coup with nuclear subs? Okay, will bury you coup? He could afford it.
Yeah, I think a We Will Bury You coup here in Angola is pretty strong.
Yeah, I would give it a try. Just to deny a counter coup. 3 VP. Okay, sort of expensive, but
Okay, he's going to take a 4-op coup, which becomes a 3 and miss it
Oh,
entirely.
under salt against.
Boy, and he needed a huge roll there, and he needed to survive a counter coup and perhaps a brush.
Indeed. Okay, what do we do now?
I think
Maybe
you coup with nuclear
brush?
subs. You coup with nuclear subs. And
Yeah, but you're out of targets. That's a problem.
that's true. You don't have a good place to. You definitely don't have a place to coup with a 1-op.
In Angola, or okay, he tried. No, come on. One up,
would
that's a
you
0 up under salt.
would you think about cooing Lebanon? Stop Middle East domination? Is that crazy?
Interesting. I would go for Panama here, by the way, but that's interesting.
Okay, so by not using nuclear subs, he's just going to allow another coup anyway.
True. Yeah, that Lebanon plan, pretty darn interesting.
Stops domination, gives you 3 countries to his 3. Obviously, you have to roll well.
Okay. Gets it, at least. And nuclear subs, perfectly harmless.
What about a we will bury there? What about a we will bury you jam into Algeria there? Again, you have to give up 3 VPs, but certainly Purge, he wouldn't be able to respond.
Now, I know, Colombia also. Colombia or Lebanon.
Yeah, Colombia makes sense.
Okay, he goes to Haiti.
All right.
True, good enough.
Establish.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, he already had domination, but now I protected from the realigns. And now, okay, so now with nuclear subs in play, DEFCON is going to go to 4 next turn, unless we will bury you is invented right here.
He could coup Angola with We'll Bury You.
Wow. Yeah, I actually really like an Angola coup with We Will Bury You right here.
Yeah, Argentina is not the right target under salt.
No, yeah, I like this. I would coup Angola with We Will Bury You.
He goes for it. But all in all, Zidane didn't really gain much during his Purge turn.
No, but the only thing he gained was that David had to hold 3 problematic cards to the next turn.
No,
he goes for Argentina. He hits it.
Wow. Okay, gets it
that
actually.
Seemed like a little bit of a desperation play there, but he got the roll on his second shot. And there's Junta.
And Central, okay.
And South America does not come out. So that's got to be heartbreaking for David.
Yeah, neither does Africa.
Get South America.
Neither does Africa. And what on earth is he to headline here? OPEC is not much.
OPEC is 2.
Truman? That's kind of sad.
He's got to worry about ABM making him presenceless if he headlines Middle East.
I mean, Middle East, you still have a chance of... but probably Argentina is a juicier target for the coup.
Missile Envy is going to be quite problematic for David. He's going to get a nice 3-op coup out of it. David has to be thinking about Missile Envy. He's also got to be thinking about ABM. And he's also got to be thinking about defectors here.
No, we've seen defectors already.
I know. Defectors is still in Zidane's hand.
Oh, he held it. Okay, that's why
I thought
we saw it, but okay. It didn't go away.
So, Missile Envy here, poking Syria makes David presenceless.
Yeah, but Missile Envy, I mean, we've seen all the red 4-ops already.
That's true.
So Junta is...
Yeah, Junta makes sense.
More reasonable here, and... Okay. I guess you give Panama a try, but you need a 5. Or you could realign Cuba. Put 2 in Haiti and realign at +2. But that surrenders a coup in
then you're
Argentina.
Allowing a coup in Argentina, which I don't think he wants.
Exactly. One troubling thing is the score. It's getting lower and lower. Although, okay, David has 3 in the bank from last turn. which I expect will be cashed in soon.
Yeah, that's true. UN is in the discard pile, so that's going to be 3 VPs. Okay,
Gets nothing.
needed a huge roll there to get anything.
So now, right.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
you
was wondering
focus
if he
on the
might.
region.
I was wondering if he might try 2 in Chile, and then coup somewhere else, maybe Mexico, just to force him to spend a 4 to take it. But
Yeah, very correct choice. But okay, the board is still looking red. Except for Europe and Middle East, of course, but the score is just getting bluer and bluer.
yeah, the board is red, but David's hand very blue, and the two best scorings for David are going to stay in the deck until turn 7. Now, Asnod is out, so they will get scored.
Okay, but at what state is
that's it. That is the question.
problem?
Now, I think David here has to protect Argentina, right? From
No,
realigns.
he doesn't have the
He can't
time.
attack.
No, he needs to realign. He needs to start cooing all over Central America. That's one way of protecting. Also, creating a counter threat.
Okay, so you would coup Haiti here with defectors, or no, Latin American death squads, I guess. Coup there, and then
Vectors are good too. I mean, you don't want to hold this card until turn 7. You want it around there.
Yep.
Being constant threat.
Okay, so a coup in Haiti, essentially, and then if you allow the realigns in Argentina, you get a nice +2 in Cuba, and you of course have the scoring for that.
True, but I would delay realignments until you at least try against Mexico as well. Try a coup in Guatemala, just to try to get 2 for the price of 1. And he goes for protection after all. Don't think he has the time for it. Finally, a big sigh of relief for David. He can start spacing. Okay. Now
So
you
is
know that
Zidane
your opponent held 3 cards. Do you space now?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to hold. If I'm Zidane, I think Muslims can be held
That's
fairly
true.
easily the next turn. I'd kind of like to hold it, and not have to worry about it the rest of the game.
And besides, you don't have that many time to start fighting for Central America.
Yeah, I think I'd allow the second space, and I would go to work. Attack. I would attack Central America.
Well, naturally, I expect David to coup back. Okay, starting low.
I would have used Allende there, I think. Panama could be an interesting AR7 event.
And David is finally a bit free, and rightly so, keeps Voice of America for turn 7 to never see this card again in his life in this game. I mean, Grain...
And he misses on the roll.
Yeah.
So that's actually a break for him.
Also pretty good. Okay, but Zidane really needs a break here. Yeah, that's kind of a lame break.
Yeah, that's not a good roll. And even a 3 would have stopped domination in addition to setting up those realigns. Truman, not a problem at all for David. So he could just place right back into Haiti.
That's what I would do. Just tell the guy, see what best you can throw at me. Okay, what else is he doing?
Also, we are talking all about Cuba realigns, but Fidel is sitting in David's hand. So we should point that out. I'm sure our viewers are pointing that out as we speak. But Fidel is sitting in David's hand. So even if Zidane is able to realign out Cuba, it could just be placed right back in. So maybe I would be going for Mexico, or excuse me, for going for Guatemala here to attack Mexico. And Zidane certainly would not have made the same mistake I did. He knows that there's a good chance that David has Fidel. So I might be
But
attacking other countries for my realigns.
still not a mistake to try to realign Cuba. I mean, if at +2 and your line he put his influence back, well, you just keep realigning.
Yep. Yeah. No. That's true. That's true.
Problem is that he's not getting the rolls.
He is not.
Okay, I don't like the OPEC play because that's the last high card he had. Although, yeah, China jamming Cuba here would be real awkward. And also, if he spent so much ops, why not overprotect Venezuela?
Yeah. I don't.
No, still just continue cooing. I know it's definition of crazy. If one thing didn't work, just keep trying. Same thing, and hoping for a different result. But I think that's the best angle, and you probably might start thinking about either war games or probably DEFCON as a way to win the game.
Here?
Yeah, but where? Venezuela is the only reasonable place I can think of.
Yeah, I'd rather jam Venezuela with OAS on AR7. Okay, he's
Just a little too late. Okay, and
Yeah.
David proves me wrong. Yes, once again.
Yeah, and so Camp David's going to be quite harmless. Would have had to been given up anyway.
Exactly. And finally, David can get a coup. He didn't have one.
Yep. Yeah.
So
and yet
Colombia, I guess.
Yeah,
No.
He may want to take Saudi Arabia.
Come on, you need to coup. Maybe he's waiting for Haiti, but Colombia makes sense too. Just set up a realignment position against Venezuela.
So maybe he's worried that.
Think about Usuri and stuff, I guess, but okay, it would take Laos and Indonesia in that case. Okay, it's worse to lose Island.
Worried about Usuri, but also worried that he has just shown Zidane that he doesn't have any 3 or 4 ops and is inviting a China card jam somewhere. Perhaps.
But that means Venezuela. That's the only place he could jam.
Right. It's jamming Venezuela much better than jamming Thailand here because Thailand was already overprotected.
And that's solved by a coup in Colombia.
Yep.
Oh, more or less solved, okay. What the hell?
We put 2 into Thailand?
And nothing in Venezuela.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all.
Okay, now a China jam into Venezuela, I guess. Or is he desperate enough to try Cuba? No.
He's gonna give up on. I would assume he's going to give up on this central domination that he's going to have to score.
Yeah. Though, okay, he could try Desperation OAS. I expect that now maybe finally a Fidel coup in Colombia. Or
he could try Desperation OAS, but
okay, playing it safe with Truman. What? Okay.
I don't like this because that.
No, he believes in domination. Sorry, in South America scoring in Zidane's hand. Well, he should have protected Venezuela, of course, but that's a reasonable play if you expect that. And now what? OAS into Venezuela and Cuba, maybe?
Yeah, I actually like OAS into Venezuela and Cuba here.
And that will be a conundrum for David. Because he'll be thinking South America, but now suddenly Central is threatened as well.
Zemo, are you someone who bothers with when you're attacking 2 different countries in 2 different regions? Are you someone who likes to put the first influence in the country that you care less about, and then the second influence in a country you care more about to try and throw off the opponent? Is that do you engage in that, or you don't even worry about it?
I sometimes think about it. Okay, when I don't think and do it automatically, I put influence in more important country first. But I try to mix it up a little bit because I know it's an obvious pattern. So when am conscious about it, about this issue, I try to put influence in less important target first.
Zemo, we were talking earlier about defectors. Defectors is held over from turn 5 to turn 6, and now it's going to be held from turn 6 to turn 7. So that's a little bit of a mistake by Zidane. He wanted to get defectors back in the deck, instead using cards like Latin American Death Squads and stuff like that to do those coups when defectors would have been a better play.
Oh, definitely.
So defectors will weaken David's turn 7 headline for sure, but then after that, he won't have to worry about defectors the rest of the game. Assuming,
unless Zidane holds it, of course. If he can conveniently hold it, that's okay. That's a value. Okay, and what will he do? No, I think he might read into it and fix Cuba.
Actually having trouble seeing.
Yeah, stream is minimized. Some consequences of the technical configuration Harib is employing. Maybe I'll ping him about it.
Okay, so and so you were right, Zemo. So he broke Venezuela, and as a result, let Zidane get away with a neutral Central America scoring. So well played by Zidane. Outfoxes David a little bit, and here we are in turn 7, and lots of scoring cards have come out here. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna see some points be exchanged.
And Europe makes a showing. Also, David lost the mill-ups from the turn. So yeah, he really shouldn't have delayed the coup until so late. Okay, regarding Europe, I think ABM is forced here.
Now, would you flip France, or would you just poke it and score AR1?
Then again, okay, he did fairly quickly, and he knows or should have known about defectors.
Oh, that's right. Defectors is a known card. And
right, and Europe is not.
On the flip side, Zidane also knows that David has ABM.
Exactly. I think I would have headlined Europe here.
And 2 friendly scorings. So defectors is pretty juicy here.
Exactly, because puppets you probably want to delay a little bit in order not to get caught in Nigeria.
Yeah, I think you can wait for puppets because you have Africa. If you didn't have Africa, maybe you headline puppets against a potential Africa headline, but since he has it, he can wait. So yeah, he's doing the calculations right now, and I bet he's going to say, well, defectors is the best headline here.
It looks like.
Because is David really going to headline voice expecting defectors with 2 known scoring cards in hand? Like, there's no way David would make a headline an actively dangerous card expecting defectors. It'd be one thing if Zidane knew he had Europe, for example, hypothetically.
Exactly.
Then defectors maybe would be weaker, but defectors quite strong here.
So that's a very significant mind game going on in this Dan's head. I wonder if David proves me wrong once again, as he did so many times throughout the game. Well, for some part, due to Zidane's life choices in this game. Also, I think they're pretty low on time. Yeah, they started with 3 hours. I assume they are 1 hour for the game. So down to less than 20 minutes. And maybe David has this anti-Zidane mindset. Nope.
There it is. Defectors as looks like it's going to be the choice. Yeah, I think that's a mistake by David. Well, but then again, I don't know. I guess you headline Willie Brandt there if you're afraid of defectors. But David should know. David, on the other hand, should have known that defectors was probably his best headline, Zidane's best headline rather.
Exactly.
So he lost ABM. Doesn't get the big coup there.
No,
in
he was too
Venezuela.
automatic in his play. Okay, now the slight issue of having to play Mushroom Evolution, I'm afraid. No, Nuclear Test Ban. He has that one.
Nuclear
Okay.
test ban here to dump into Venezuela, and now you've evened up South America. And really no cards left for David to do anything about that.
True, he gets some value from Africa, but other than that, yeah.
Yeah, and David's going to need to start dumping scorings. Also needs to space voice.
So it's looking pretty grim. Europe making an unexpected comeback. It's one of those games when one side constantly has an advantage over the board, but the score just doesn't seem to reflect it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a perfect example of that. David has been ahead in South America the entire game. And the scoring is not coming out to turn 7, and David is not going to get a single point out of it. He's going to be forced to score this for even.
With somewhat less encumbered hand, maybe he could have then realigned Venezuela. But with this hand, I mean, he has to score so much crap. He has to start with Southeast Asia because that could only get worse. Okay, South America a bit risky as well, but he's fairly protected. It would have to be Brushford probably in order to hurt him.
So I think 3 Venezuela here, and then what else?
Argentina makes sense for the future as well, for the Thatcher the Betrayer.
Yep. So is it time to dump scorings here if you're David?
Come on, Southeast Asia is known and vulnerable.
Yes.
Okay.
You have both. You have all 3 of the 1 stabs.
No. Okay, maybe, but
he does know. Now, what I will say is David does know about puppets and Africa in Zidane's hand. So
yeah,
David,
you cannot afford to play around.
Yeah, I like this. Just get rid of scoring. I probably see puppets into Nigeria. Probably puppets all into Africa, I would assume.
Oh yeah, all over it.
Matter of fact, maybe
you have put 3
just right in the line. Saharan, Nigeria, Cameroon, perhaps here.
True, but one issue is, of course, having 3 red cards, which you really don't want to play. Actually, Muslim might be the most playable of them all. Okay, now David has to react to that, has to at least try to get Africa. Probably ends up playing the China card.
Yeah, so a summit coup here, I think, probably of Saharan states needs a 3.
Okay, so a small chance.
He's gonna get
it. Okay, Portuguese into Cameroon, rinse and repeat.
Portuguese also event reestablishes domination if he doesn't want to take the risk.
True, but then there's some chance of grabbing Nigeria as well. China already. Whoa. Okay, Botswana, I guess. Okay, didn't like that much the Algeria move. Come on, at least Cuba. At least make it Cuba. If you're not going for Africa.
I like Tunisia because David knows that Muslim Revolution is in Zidane's hand and wants to make it as painful as possible.
True. But okay, that's still something you can coup. How I learned into... what's this little one? Zimbabwe, I think.
That's true, yeah. Zimbabwe coup flipping Flipping it over. Yeah, how I learned not rolling a 1 on Zimbabwe stops domination. And again, Zidane knows. Well, no, Zidane does not know about Europe. So Zidane knows he's got to knows
He
about
knows
South
about
America,
Voice and
right?
Usuri and South America. These three are not. Don't remember about Portuguese. Might be known as well. Don't
Yeah.
remember.
I think Usurian voice obviously unplayable. South America's not going to get anything done, so he's only got one quote real play left. And then
Yeah.
of course he doesn't know about Europe, so that Europe could be some kind of big scary card.
Well, not just one real. Physically got one more play, and then
Yes.
score and score. He should probably remember about Muslim Dikol and Che. I think there are... No, we've seen Che already. So that's a mystery card.
So you certainly don't want to spend your last 2 action rounds scoring.
But you have to.
But I think you have to here because he should know
So sad.
that Zidane does not want to give up Muslim Revolution. Okay, so you need at least 2 here. Oh, and he rolls a 1. Oh, that is
dear Lord.
that is disastrous. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a huge roll.
That is game.
A huge miss for David. So now Africa gets dumped for just the 1. He's got to score South America for even. A nice space shot here for David. I can only assume. And then he's going to get a nice surprise when he sees Europe scoring for another 5 points.
Exactly. And he might even give up. No, probably Muslim. Yeah, Che is too much hassle.
Yeah, giving up Muslim's not the worst thing. You leave Libya open, but then
again, it can be cancelled. And South America just got scored.
That's true. It can be canceled, but it can also be stolen with missile envy.
Indeed. Huh.
But yeah, so I guess you're gonna. Yeah, David would empty out Libya and Egypt. You'd put 2 back in Egypt, and then what? Poke something. I don't know
He
what
goes
you
for
poke.
Che after all.
It does go for Che. Okay, so he's going to give up Colombia. He's going to give up 2 battle. He's going to give 2 non-battlegrounds in scored regions.
Yeah, because you don't go for Nicaragua. Saharan.
Oh, and he misses. So that's a pretty painless Che. And you're just going to coup back Colombia, right?
Do I? I don't think I have to. What's not scored yet? Can I do something in okay? Asia is untouchable.
Yeah, Asia is Asia's on lock.
Yeah, kind of sad if I had to do that, but maybe I do.
So
I'm hoping for something more aggressive.
Zidane's in a great position to win here in final scoring. But
or war games.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We've got Lone Gunman and CIA both still in the deck, so DEFCON's still very much a possibility.
Well, I think so, yeah. And China card in Zidane's hand.
And 2 problematic cards in David's. David's still trying to recover from that brutal turn 5 when he had to hold 3 terrible cards.
Yeah, this is a very, very cautionary game, showing exactly why you should over-control the key battlegrounds.
Yep. Yeah, and David, as you said, was kind of automatic. Oh, and there's the gunman, but also grain sales. And no discarders in David's hand.
Okay. That will be problematic, but there's grain sales also. Okay, so he'll live through the turn. Culture, is it gone for good already? Yeah. So no chance of stealing the China card.
Yes, I believe Nixon and Cultural were traded.
Yes, only Osuri is, well, I wouldn't say unaccounted for since we see it on the screen.
David knows that Zidane knows that David is holding both of them. And so by playing grain here, he knows he's going to get one of them.
Yeah. Now, Yeah, I don't see many vectors of victory for David here. Mostly gunman.
Well, that's not the card he wanted, but I think he's just gonna. I mean, I think you
Yeah,
take
you
it,
keep it
given
anyway.
keep it anyway, give up. You're still in a fine position in the Middle East.
Yeah, cool Angola because, well, you have to do something with it. Kind of
Yeah, I
sad that
would.
it's so low.
And David also could have CIA, so we know he
Yeah,
doesn't, but Zidane does not know that. So I think you've got to keep Nasser
definitely.
and you coup Angola. Hope you roll a 4.
Well, that's not even that much important. I think the board is pretty much locked for. I mean, the final scoring, considering the board, has to be Zidane's victory.
David does not have a single domination now. He is 1 influence point away from having domination in Central America, of course. But other than that, he's got
True.
nothing. Okay, so it rolls a 3. There goes Nasser. So that's gonna make the Middle East look a little bit better. But still, it looks like Zidane's just gonna be able to take Saudi Arabia. He'll have 3 battlegrounds there. Camp David's been invented, so he can take Israel if he needs to.
Okay, so
Yeah, where
time
is David is just in a situation where he's not gonna. He just there's no. Where is he gonna get those points? Where is he gonna get points to crawl back into this thing?
Well, Venezuela is one hopeful target, so if you want to realign, do it now.
Yep. But now we've talked about the gunman is there, and the gunman is in Zidane's hand, and David has to be thinking about DEFCON here,
Okay.
even though Zidane does have the China card.
Yeah, so it takes a combo. David would have to get both aims and terrorism, or double terrorism, of course.
Or a double terrorism. Yeah.
But from my experience, US gunman losses are so rare. It
Yeah,
almost
tough to
doesn't
engineer.
happen.
Even tougher to engineer when the gunman is your only path to victory as the USSR, because the US then will just never play the China card under any circumstances and can really focus on guarding their hand from the DEFCON issues.
Okay, I think he should ignore Cuba, ignore the realignment, and just go for Venezuela. Because Fidel, I think, will be back. I don't think we've seen it on turn 7, only on turn 6.
Yeah,
So
try the
losing
realigns
Cuba,
there.
not an issue. Ooh, yeah. That's 14.
Okay, now
So,
headline peak for David, enhancing his chances at a DEFCON victory.
oh yes. That's very important right now. So Usuri will not be that problematic.
Usuri
Asia is pretty
easily
solid.
fixed here, and of course David would love Zidane to follow up Usuri with the China card, which he's not going to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Now I look on the board even more. Okay, I wouldn't say more impossible, but extremely unlikely for a final scoring victory for David. So he has to put all his hopes on this one chance on DEFCON. So literally only that, and well, staying alive until it's possible matters.
Yep. Yes.
Getting out of war games range, well, that won't happen.
That's not going to happen. You just have to hope he doesn't have it.
So you just hope he doesn't get to 20. So yeah, with that consideration, maybe it doesn't matter whether he realigns Venezuela. Because, well, if it gets to final scoring, he's dead already. But he really needs to get his mid-ups somewhere. And Zidane below 10 minutes. Maybe they have another arrangement, of course. Yes, we've seen Korean War played already, so South Korea might be actually more important here.
Yes, that is an important country. So,
Although, yeah, is going for Israel. That's reasonable. Player doesn't matter.
no, it doesn't. Final scoring is already decided. So we should be focusing on unscored regions here. Yeah, Glasnost's coup here to just get it out of the deck, give up the 2 VPs, I think is good. Make sure you don't make it you don't run into Reformer. And Muslims can go safely off to space. Finish with Brezhnev. Maybe NATO ends up taking Israel. Where would you put Glasnost? Would you coup Egypt with it? Would you go from Mexico? What do you like?
I'm starting to think if there is a reasonable option. Yeah, I think I would put the influence into South Korea without the coup.
Oh, interesting. So you just jam it and then hope that he fixes, and then you can play gunman. Or if he coups, you can take South Korea. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Oh, just gonna go with the conventional play. Zaire?
Yeah, right. I know, but maybe Zidane doesn't consider the final scoring a done deal yet. But okay, if anything, he probably should focus on Mexico. But Asia is his best way of getting the necessary VPs. In Middle East, it's 3 plus 5, or maybe 6.
That's going disastrously wrong. Okay, a little bit better.
Okay, right, doesn't matter, but he gets some value. Of course, there has scoring time be quite low, but that can't be said that is the case.
Sorry, Zimowit. I'm having a little bit of a tough time hearing you. You're breaking up a little bit. He's going to overprotect Venezuela. And now we will move over to David's turn. And so Israel's still contested.
Okay, just got disconnected for a moment, but I'm back. Okay, finally, maybe get your mill-ups not in the last AR of the turn, or maybe not in the next last.
Yep, Liberation pretty weak here, so perfectly fine to just use it for a coup.
I mean, Centaur is still not scored, but
where are you going to put your 3? You're going to just take non-battlegrounds, overprotect Cuba? I mean, I guess. I think it's fine to throw away for a coup.
Yeah. Maybe he wants to coup with Iron Lady, but okay, definitely needs to coup somewhere. Stave of Defeat. Interesting. And there's merit in that move, although I would have preferred it to be... Okay, maybe he knows about Brezhnev. Actually, I would probably play Brezhnev here.
That's true. Yeah, it's not gonna. Even if he does have CIA, it's not like he'll be able to space it. So Brezhnev is playable.
Actually, he's considering that. Okay, maybe he's thinking about CIA. Right, what you said, but he already spaced this turn and wouldn't be able to space CIA even if he did. So just take Libya back and delay going to space.
Yep, you take Libya here, and then you space Muslim Revolution on AR7.
Where did he put the extra?
He's purged.
Oh, right.
So that now he does get the Brezhnev, but the extra op's not going to do anything. Well, actually, it does matter. Clears him out of Nicaragua, true. And now we'll see Muslims go to space, and we'll head to turn 9. Both players running low on time. So am I. I'm not going to be able to stick around for the post-game interview, unfortunately. But both of these players with well under 10 minutes left, so 15 minutes total. And there's War Games, and there's Aldrich. And do we see terrorism? We do not. Middle East, Central's not going to be enough. Okay, so this should end here. That is your ball game.
So Iran-Iraq war plus Central, how much is it?
Iran-Iraq war win would be 2. Central's 5. It does get it to 6, but he's got Zidane's got kitchen, which I think will be fine. He's got special's not active.
Yeah, just kitchen. So what's to start? Okay, he might go for Chernobyl here. Just some smoke in the eyes. Yep. Focus opponent's attention on Europe. Besides, he has the unrest, so he can actually make a play for Europe.
No kitchen headline. Looks like he's going to go for kitchen right away.
No, that makes sense too. Right, that should stop all the shenanigans. So yeah. What's the count? Actually, 3 plus 1. Might not get it, yeah. But the coup now will just take care of things. Oh no, it's red domination in the Middle East. Wow. It might get longer. Of course, he will get out of gunman, but he has outreach. Right, but he doesn't know if there's terrorism.
Okay.
Ooh la la, might actually get a bit longer.
Yep, so Central's going to be, I mean, unless you see a big coup in Mexico here.
There's duck and cover.
Oh, duck and cover.
13. Okay.
That's
Central is 5.
Yep, that will do.
Unstoppable now.
Of course, duck and cover. Okay. And this will be 5. Central America is going to be 5. It's not going to get any better. And that will do it. So a victory for Zidane here, and he'll leap ahead of David and into first place in the Lyon division. Boys, this was an interesting game. I will say that. Had an interesting start, lots of interesting stuff happening. And in the end, a turn 9 War Games victory for Zidane.